Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is glaring hypocrisy when you have Republicans on the other side of the aisle trying to create definitions and say Rashida wants to annihilate people, when Max Miller himself went on TV and said we're turning Gaza into a parking lot and we want to annihilate Palestinians. Nobody condemned him on that side of the aisle. What is true here is that every single one of them has not acknowledged the fact that Palestinians are dying in the tens of thousands, but will continue to say it is us who are not acknowledging humanity. Rashida will stand strong.
Gentlelady's time has expired.
Movement.
In today's episode of Listen Reacts, we're breaking down the chaos that erupted on the House floor when Ilhan Omar's most controversial remarks were read aloud, word for word, for the entire nation to hear. What came out wasn't just shocking. It was revealing. These statements underscore exactly why so many Americans believe Omar has no place representing this country on matters of national importance. The double standards in Washington, along with the deafening silence from the mainstream media, are deeply troubling. If anyone else had said what she did, every network would be in an uproar. But when it's her silence, and that silence speaks volumes, that's why we're here. Because as patriots, it's our duty to speak up, to push back, and to hold our leaders accountable, no matter who they are. This isn't about left or right. It's about truth. It's about defending American values and making sure that the voice of the people still matters in Washington.
At this time, I would yield 6 minutes to Max Miller from the great state of Ohio.
The gentleman is recognized for 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentleman from Mississippi for yielding. Mr. Speaker, the House Committee on Foreign Affairs has broad jurisdiction over national security and foreign policy, peacekeeping and peace enforcement, international law, and the promotion of democracy, and many other critical issues that require its members to be both objective and credible. Members of the Committee on Foreign Affairs represent the United States abroad and are regarded as credible emissaries of American foreign policy. Their words have significant weight in guiding our relations with other countries and are relied upon by world leaders. Most importantly, our allies such as Israel, the forever home of the Jewish people. But what happens when a committee member is no longer viewed as a credible emissary of our foreign policy? What if a member is barred from visiting one of our allies because of their prejudiced comments? How can members who are unable to engage with our allies in a constructive manner be considered credible members of the committee? Well, the gentlelady's discriminatory comments disqualified her from traveling to Israel in 2019. Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, would not allow Representative Omar to enter, saying, "We respect all political parties in the United States equally. However, we will also respect ourselves. Whoever comes to impose boycotts on us and to deny the legitimacy of the State of Israel, we will not allow them entry." Yes, the gentlelady disqualified herself from entry into one of the most important countries allied with the United States. Over the past 75 years, Israel has been a steadfast ally of the United States. Israel has stood by us through the volatility in the Middle East, and this alliance has been critical to our own national security. How can someone not welcomed by one of our most important allies serve as an emissary of American foreign policy on the Foreign Affairs Committee? And given her biased comments against Israel and against the Jewish people, how can she serve as an objective decision maker on the committee? Let's take a look at some of the gentlelady's comments. In February of 2019, barely more than a month after becoming a member of this body, Representative Omar suggested that the Jewish people and the American Israel Public Affairs Committee were buying political support, writing on Twitter, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," clearly amplifying an anti-Semitic stereotype about the Jewish people and money. In response, congressional Democratic leadership, her own party, immediately released a statement by saying, "Anti-Semitism must be called out, confronted, and condemned wherever it is encountered without exception." Not long after Representative Omar trivialized the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, by describing that day of infamy as "some people did something." That's horrific. Some people did something. Yes, Mr. Speaker, some people did do something. Some people committed evil acts of terrorism and killed nearly 3,000 Americans. And in response, some thousands of our fellow citizens, myself included, enlisted in our armed forces to defend the gentlelady's right to make her prejudiced remarks. Many went off to combat and even died to defend that right. But they did not die fighting to have their bravery and love of country undermined by a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Mr. Speaker, I have no words to describe just how utterly unacceptable these comments are. But that's not all. In 2021, the gentlelady referred to Israel, which has the absolute right to defend itself against terrorism and attacks on its very existence, as an apartheid state. She even equated the United States and Israel, countries that have stood as beacons of democracy, to the Taliban and Hamas, organizations that impose terror on their regions in the world. Once again, even her Democrat colleagues swiftly condemned her comment. 12 Democrat members of this body released a statement which noted, equating the United States and Israel to Hamas and the Taliban is as offensive as it is misguided, ignoring the differences between democracies governed by the rule of law and contemptible organizations that engage in terrorism. At best discredits one intended argument and at worst reflects deep-seated prejudice from her own party. Some have decried this effort as a political game. Mr. Speaker, I assure you this is no political game. This resolution is not about engaging in a tit-for-tat with my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. This is about keeping someone with a long record of anti-Semitic and anti-Israel bias off the Foreign Affairs Committee, which needs objective emissaries for our foreign policy. Even the Democrat former chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Elliot Engel, said that Representative Omar's anti-Semitic comments have no place in the Foreign Affairs Committee or the House of Representatives. That was in addition to the previously mentioned joint statement from 12 of the gentlelady's Democrat colleagues. The facts are clear. Representative Omar has espoused anti-Semitic and anti-Israel rhetoric time and again. She cannot be an objective contributor to the work of the committee, and she has brought dishonor to the House of Representatives. This body, this committee, which is viewed by nations around the world as speaking for Congress on matters of international importance and national security, should not have a seat for a member who would bring such dishonor to that committee. I encourage all of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this resolution, to say with one voice that the United States House of Representatives does not condone hate, and to reaffirm we will always condemn anti-Semitism. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back.
Welcome back to A Listen Reacts, the channel where we cut through the noise and bring you the truth about what's really happening in Washington, D.C. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like. It helps more patriots like you find this community. Now, let's talk about what just went down on the House floor, because this moment was nothing short of historic. Ilhan Omar's past statements were read aloud, word for word, for the official record. And hearing them again hit differently this time. The chamber fell silent. You could feel the tension in the air. Faces said it all. Disbelief, disappointment, even anger. And honestly, they had every reason to feel that way. This wasn't political theater. It was a mirror held up to the truth. The words spoken weren't harmless. They mocked American tragedies, downplayed our struggles, and disrespected the very ideals this nation was built upon. Hearing them echoed through Congress reminded everyone why so many Americans have had enough. Because this isn't an isolated moment. It's a pattern of divisive rhetoric, anti-American sentiment, and loyalty that seems to shift whenever it's convenient. And every single time it happens, the media steps in to cover for her, spinning the story, burying the facts, and protecting their narrative. But let's be real. If a Republican had said even half of what Omar has said, every network would be demanding resignations before the day was over. That's the double standard, eating away at our faith in both the media and our political system. The House floor should be a place where leaders stand tall for America, not a stage for excuses and moral gymnastics. What happened today wasn't just another session in Congress, it was a wake-up call. A reminder that silence only allows this kind of rhetoric to become the new normal. So here's my challenge to you. Don't scroll past this. Share this video. Talk about it. Because the more people know the truth, the harder it becomes for anyone to hide behind spin and slogans. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one politician. It's about what kind of country we want to be. We deserve leaders who love America, stand for truth, and never apologize for defending our nation. If you believe that too, hit subscribe and join the Ilhan Reacts community. Together, we'll keep shining a light on what's really happening and hold our leaders accountable. Now it's your turn. What did you think about Ilhan Omar's words being read aloud on the House floor? Will this open more Americans' eyes, or will the media keep covering for her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay proud, and stay patriotic. United we stand. We stand.